All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Thursday, June 19th. We got game number 6 of the NBA Finals to dive into in today's video. Like we always do, I'm going to dive into this game. I'll give you my prediction on the side. I'll give you my prediction on the total. We'll talk about any other plays like player props that we like within the game as well. But as always, guys, keep an eye down on the pinned comment of this video. That'll take you to all of my final plays so that I'm actually rolling with myself. If that does interest you, if you do want to fade me, all of that is going to be free down in the pinned comment. All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. I tell you guys I'm a dummy all the time. They don't suck. They've just been sucking. Get them down to -3 for more juice than Jose Canseco in his prime. Tell me you're new without telling me you're new. So don't go jumping down my throat in the comments, right? If you want to fade me, or if you do want to ride me, this still leaves a bad taste in my mouth, right? And remember, more chins, more wins. In terms of game number 5, yeah, we go 0-2. We had Shea's under in assists. I think he had 10, so yeah, that womp-womp's definitely deserved. Siakam, he kind of hung in there until he just kind of went off. I think he had, 28 or 29 points. So yeah, this has been a tough series so far. We started off really well, and then I would say games 4 and 5, not so much. Hopefully we can do a little better today. The sad thing is that this may be the last NBA video that we do for the year. We had a really good NBA season. I've loved doing the videos and whatnot. The fan in me hopes we have another game to do, right? Because just the end of the NBA season, you never want to see that come, as my favorite sport. And the person that's looking at this game in me does kind of think it may be. We have the Thunder -6, the total sitting at 222. I'm probably sitting here thinking that the Thunder handle business. Now, what I will give Indiana is that they fight, you know what I mean? Like, this is a team that at home, back against the wall. Based on these playoffs so far, you couldn't pick a better team to be in this spot. What I will say, though, is that we've seen when the Thunder really turn it to that next level, the Pacers can't necessarily match. And now we have a banged-up Halliburton. He might not even be playing. That's going to be a massive, massive loss to the Pacers. He's the guy that was making all these game winners and last-second shots to send him in overtime throughout the playoffs. So no Halliburton is probably going to be a no bet on the Pacers for me. Even if he is banged up, I do think that he'll play, but maybe not be like 100%. Even his points line right now, which we may take a flyer on, we'll talk about it with the player props when we get to that portion of the video, is at 13.5. So even with him playing, the books don't think that this guy's going to go out there and be Tyrese Halliburton. You know what I mean? So ultimately, yeah, it's going to be Thunder for me, minus the 6. What I will give the Pacers credit is that they're at the end of the season potentially, right? What are they going to do here? They're at home. They have to run. They're not going to sit there and be like, okay, let's try and be a good defensive team. No, they're going to get into their DNA and what they actually do well, and that's going to be run. Now, the Thunder, a team that will gladly run with them, I understand that, but that's going to lead me to a little look at the over here, and I think that that might be a play that we consider. So, yeah, I like the Thunder -6, but I can't count out this Pacers team, it seems like, ever, right? So I'm not going to absolutely pounce on the Thunder -6. I think this could be a spot in which we see, even if the Thunder do kind of, get going and maybe blow them away like they've done a couple times this series, where the Pacers can hold their own, maybe put up their, 109, that type of thing, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, yeah, the Thunder come out there and score 120, and we're looking at an over. So I do like the idea of an over in this spot, and again, it kind of comes down to more of a what I would do in this situation, not necessarily numbers based. I mean, the numbers support that the Pacers will run, right? But I'm saying that if we're going to, have our backs against the wall and potentially lose the season, lose the finals, we have to do what we know how to do best. And the Pacers will play with pace, pun intended. And the Thunder will definitely do it if they'll match that energy if they want to. So I like the idea of that over. I think you can get 221.5 right now, so we might lock that in sooner rather than later. But guys, before we do, and I got this at 221.5 over on Novig, let me talk to you guys about them, because this is a social sportsbook exchange, meaning you're going up against other people. They're setting a line, putting the odds out there, and you can pounce on the other end. You can even set your own lines and odds as well on your end and wait for someone to match in the market. It is really, really cool because obviously you're not paying as much juice, right? You don't have the big conglomerate coming in here being like, hey, let's take the 20 cents and that type of a thing. So go ahead and check it out. That link will be down below in the description as well as the pinned comment. Make sure to use that link. You're going to get, I believe, up to 25 or 50 bucks in a bonus when signing up, getting that Novig cash. So check it out. It operates just the same as those main sports books that we all know and love, but you're paying a little bit less juice and you're getting better lines and better odds like 90% of the time. So it's worth having in your arsenal, in your repertoire as one of your books out there. Go check it out. Again, that link will be down in the description as well as the pinned comment. You've seen me throwing a lot more plays in the MLB, especially because we have so many games to go through in these exchanges just because of the fact that they don't have the same limits. And the odds are just that much better. You can sometimes get like 20 cents better of value. Something that's like minus 160 on, DK or something like that. You head over to Novig and all of a sudden it's like minus 125. It's like, how's that even possible? It's possible because it is an exchange. So go ahead and check it out. Link will be down below. But let's talk some player props here. The first one I want to start off with here, and this is just going to be kind of more of the long shotty type of a play. Plus 200. Aaron Nesmith over 1.5 assists. So Aaron Nesmith, obviously not really an assist guy. You can even see here 1.7 potential assists per game in his last 10. On the season, it gets a little bit better, but still 2 potential assists per game. What if I say, okay, well, Tyrese Halliburton, even if he's not playing that many minutes and whatnot, check this out. Without Tyrese Halliburton, things have looked pretty, okay, right? That's this season. In his last 10 without him, averaging 3.6 potential assists dating back to last year for plus 200 odds. I'm not telling you that Nesmith is definitely going to get, 2 assists. He might not even get a single assist. But I do think for the money and with Halliburton potentially not being in there, we could see this as a nice little sprinkle play. So this might be something that we just have a little fun with. And again, it's the last game of the year. I'm not going to piss away, potentially last game of the year. We don't want to, speak that into existence because I'm still like mentally rooting for the Pacers. But you know what? We don't want to piss away a good NBA season by doing a bunch of crazy stuff for a bunch of units. So this might just be a smaller little sprinkle. Second player prop, Miles Turner, under 19.5 points plus rebounds. You can see him so far in this series. He's looked okay, but when at home, only 11 and 14 now, which is interesting because, so this is him on the season, right? He's hit the under in 42% of his games, and at home, he's at the under in just 33. So there's something about this Thunder team and him in the playoffs so far when he hasn't looked all that great. You can even see here, get rid of the home. So far against this Thunder team, averaging 10.5 rebound chances. You can see so far in this series, games 2 through 5, 11. So even if he goes out there and gets 5 rebounds, he would need 15 points, which just from a points perspective, he struggled to do in the last 3 games. He'd need 15 points to be able to come out here and do it. So yeah, I do like the idea of his under in points. I like the idea of his under in rebounds. I figured, hey, let's go ahead and marry the two, right? Under 19.5. Just don't get to 20 for us. You filter to the center position here. 3rd best defense against the center. We know that. And pretty good against the rebounds as well. And again, the rebound chances is big for me here. I don't think he's going to get that many. You can even see this is so far, from the 17th when this opened, it's bounced back and forth between 19.5, 18.5, 19.5, 18.5. We don't want to miss the boat on a 19.5, right? So that is going to be another spot that we look at. And then, like I mentioned, Tyrese Halliburton, we could flirt with it. Over 13.5 points. If this guy plays, he should be at least somewhat good to go. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's the guy on this squad. You're getting really good odds, plus 113 over on aforementioned Novig, compared to everywhere else it's in the minuses except FanDuel's plus 100. So Halliburton might be hobbled, might not play, but, if his back's against the wall, he might give you everything he has, and hopefully he can go out there and give you 14 points and be able to cash a plus money play, right? So I am well aware that we're getting a different version of Halliburton. That's why his line is all the way down here, right? He's banged up, obviously very injured, but to me, it still could be a potential spot to take a peek. You know what I mean? And again, much like that Nesmith one, I think it is kind of like taking a peek. And you can see his injury right here. I don't think I meant to click on that. His injury is game time decision, right calf strain. This is what's cool about Outlier, by the way. If you guys want to check it out, link will be down below. Patriots coach Rich Carlisle, Wednesday, that Halliburton isn't expected to be announced until Thursday afternoon or evening. So today, right? Halliburton will be a game time call. He underwent the MRI and being what's described as a strained right calf, which is a big deal, right? But the results haven't necessarily been announced. So if he goes out there and plays, I think we could at least get somewhat of a Halliburton that can score 14. I mean, I feel like I'm talking in circles here. It's not rocket science, right? Low line, because he's injured, maybe he's a little bit better than that. But the Nesmith will kind of depend on if Halliburton plays or not as well, because that plus 200 looks really, really good if Halliburton isn't playing. Because think about all the usage that will go around to some of those guys like Shepard, McConnell, Nesmith, that type of thing. Nemhard for sure. So, yeah. Go ahead and keep an eye on that injury report because it's going to matter for today. But I like the over regardless. I think that's the only one that we talked about that certainly won't change if Halliburton plays or not. I guess the spread at -6 for the Thunder, but I'm still kind of a ways away from placing that. But guys, it's going to wrap it up for today's show. We like the Thunder. We like the over. Neesmith on a sprinkle on that plus 200 play. Turner's under 19.5 points and rebounds. And then potentially taking a peek there at Halliburton. I would say that there's obviously some benefits to potentially looking at, McConnell, Nemhard, Shepherd, that type of a thing. If those guys, if Halliburton's ruled out, but I do think that their lines are going to be a little crazy juiced and high because of him potentially being out. And the Thunder are a really good defense, so I don't want to necessarily go like apples to apples. Oh, who's going to get the assists? Nemhard and McConnell. It seems like it'd be too easy and too square. But yeah, that's what we're liking in today's game, guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'll catch you guys in the next one, right? Peace out. Hopefully this is not the last NBA video that we do for the season. Hopefully. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.